Welcome to Crossroads Callings. I am your host, Shamir Brown, and this is the podcast dedicated to navigating life's pivots and discovering a pathway to true purpose and calling. Today, Crossroads Callings is on the road. We are in the heart of Chicago's Gold Coast, sitting in Changing Faces Atelier with the owner and curator, Janae Wesby. I am so excited to be hosting her. This is a special edition of Crossroads Callings where we feature small business owners, their backgrounds, their story, as well as we'll give you a tour of the salon studio a little later on in the show. But first, I want to welcome Janae to the show.
Shamir, thank you so very much for having me. I am super elated and super proud to know you.
Oh, thank you so much, Janae. I'm going to tell the audience a little bit more about you, and then we'll tee up the conversation. So
Okay.
Janae has been in the beauty industry for 25 years as an esthetician, educator, makeup artist. She's worked for some notable brands like La Mer and Windy City Live. If you're from Chicago, you're familiar with the show. But Janae has done an amazing job of taking that 25 years of experience and just making it a masterclass of resilience. She has actually changed my life. And I always tell her, like, Janae, you've changed my life. I have had acne. Well, I had acne since I was 9 years old. And I was introduced to Janae, 2.5, maybe 3 years ago?
Yes.
And she put me on a skincare plan. And not only did it change the look, the feel, the texture of my skin. For those of you that are oily girls, you know the battle oily skin can be. But not only did Janae restore my skin, she restored my confidence, my self-esteem. It sent me on a journey of such self-love. So not only has Janae curated this sanctuary that we're in for beauty, it is also a place of healing. And I want to get into her story because she's navigated so many crossroads, such as loss and grief and caregiving, with such grace and poise. And she's inspired me. And I thought, like, if you inspired me, that you can inspire my audience too. And I think we're gonna be in here crying.
I'm over here. I'm like,
we're gonna be in here crying. I already felt it, because I definitely before we did our episode, I definitely prayed and I was like, what is the story that, God, you want to share? Because Janae has such a robust story and she's poured so much into me. So this is my way of pouring back into you by giving you this platform for you to share your story in a place of peace, from a place of victory.
Yes.
Any last things you want to say before we jump in?
No, I just think that everyone has a story to tell, right? And there are good parts and there are unpleasant parts, but that builds your character. It shows your tenacity.
Yeah.
And I think for me, did I like a lot of these things? No, I did not. But in hindsight, I wouldn't trade it because I know so much now, right?
Yeah.
And I know so much better, and I can actually take what I know and help somebody else.
And that's what we're going to do, because you're going to take all these things and we about to help a lot of people today. Yeah. So it sounds like Janae is ready. She was about to get into preacher mode. But
no.
So get your pen and your paper ready, because Crossroads Callings, we're starting now. I always was curious about how you got started in the beauty industry, because it feels like it's a ministry, that this is something that you've always wanted to do. But what was your starting point?
Having the worst skin in America.
Okay, tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. Acne on top of acne, doctor on top of doctor. I drove my parents and myself crazy trying to figure out how to navigate the acne. I went to a lot of different doctors in Chicago, and at that time, there were not a lot of dermatologists that looked like us. So my skin was constantly in a state of repair and healing. It's always being burned or inflamed or just something until I just decided
enough is enough.
I'm just going to stop going because it's not helping. And I started reading a lot. I'm an avid reader because I don't watch TV, and I haven't really watched TV since 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to figure out what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
Guess what? It was a reflection of what was going on in my insides. It was my stomach. It was that my intestines were twisted. So my body wasn't able to digest food and or fiber.
Okay.
Right? I would become violently ill, all kinds of stuff. And my grandmother was like, give us some castor oil.
Let's clean it all
Let's clean it out. And that did not happen. And so it was until I just started reading different excerpts and stuff like that is when my skin cleared up. And I made a lot of dietary changes.
Okay.
I mean, I was young. I was eating bad French fries, pizza puffs, all that stuff at that time, right? All the fun stuff that teenagers like. And I'm like, look at my parents. Their skin is perfect. Am I adopted? Like, what is happening? But that really, really changed my life. And then when I went to aesthetic school, not once, but twice, I went to 2 different schools.
Why did you go to 2 different schools?
Because at that time, I was married and I had small children.
Okay.
And I didn't take the test. So I went through the whole entire
and you
program.
did all of the hours because esthetician school is what, 1,300 hours?
750, something like that.
Okay.
750, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So you went through all the things.
All the things.
And then you didn't take the test. Is it because you didn't have a babysitter or you just what was the barrier?
Navigating small children, a stay-at-home mom, you know, trying to be present, and I just didn't.
Then what did you end up doing? You just dedicated yourself to being a full-time wife and mother?
Yes.
How many years did it take you to get back on track?
3.
And what was different between the time you started and then the 3 years later? What changed?
Divorce.
Okay.
And really wanting to restart my life for me. It wasn't about anybody else. It wasn't about my kids. It was about me. And I think so much women, we get into relationships or we have children and we lose our own focus and our goals are often for someone else.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for my mother. I'm doing this for my father. I want them to be proud of me. What about you being proud of you? And I just felt like I never finish anything because I'm always juggling the dream of someone else.
Was that because the dream of someone else, did that start when you first got married?
Yes.
You're juggling your husband's dreams?
Yes.
Then you had children really young?
Yes.
And so you were juggling your children's dreams? So it was never really about you?
No.
Did you ever have an experience where it was like, this moment is about me before starting over in esthetician school after the 3-year mark?
No. No.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my grandmother had a really big hand in raising me.
Mm-hmm.
And she instilled in me, you raise your children. And that stuck in my mind. Mm-hmm. And so I did that. And I was like, okay, this is what I have to do. But she didn't tell me the other part, right?
Which was what?
Which was, you have to be an individual as well.
Do you think it was generational though? Because
yeah, she's part of the silent generation.
Yes, you kind of grin and bear it. You focus on your children. That becomes your life. So there is no you.
No.
Who gave you the kind of the knowledge to reaffirm your sense of self? Like now it has to be about me.
I remember reading this Essence article, and this lady, I can't remember what her name was, and she talked about divorce and not wanting to be bitter and wanting to go on with her life and all this stuff. And I was like,
that's me.
I want that.
Yes.
I want that. How do I do that? And so I just really started putting one foot in front of the other. You have to pass these classes. This is what you want to do. By all means necessary, will you get it done? And that's what I did.
So what was the first opportunity that affirmed you in the beauty industry that let you know that this is where I'm supposed to be? I made the right decision. Because did you start working right after you finished?
No.
What was the time frame?
So I was also in school and I had a job over at, I can't think of the name, but it's right next door to the hospital on 51st Stroger.
Okay.
And it was a HIV and AIDS facility. And I was an intake worker because I was in school for psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they had like this open house. And the criteria for living in this space was that someone in your family had to be affected with HIV or AIDS, right? And I remember sitting there and I brought my makeup kit to kind of touch them up. And I just saw how they felt afterwards, just how important they felt, how they stood up taller, how their self-esteem was better.
So this was for like promo?
No, this was just for an event they were doing at the house.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so I said, I'll bring my makeup kit, right? Because this is really what I wanted to do. Like, I did not want this desk job. Because I'm for now, right?
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is what I want to do. It's more than just makeup.
Mm-hmm.
It's empowerment. It's empowerment to see yourself in a way that you haven't seen yourself before. It's a reachable dream, right? And it's like when you speak life into a person,
Mm-hmm.
it does something for them, right? And it does something for you too. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is it. This is it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
After that, when did you start working in the beauty industry?
I quit the job, went home for a couple months, and my godmother said, I want you to audition for this L'Oreal protein. And at the time, my youngest daughter probably was like 5 months. And she said, you're going to be traveling. And I'm like, okay. I ended up traveling for 10 years for them.
What did you do with your children?
With their dad.
Okay.
And my parents.
Okay.
And in some ways, I regret it.
Mm-hmm. Because did you hear like the voice of your grandmother, like you're supposed to be raising your own
Mm-hmm.
children? Because that's what she said.
Yes.
And now you've taken this job that was completely opposite.
Opposite of what I felt that I should have been doing.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty about it. But I knew I needed to create my own way in life.
Yeah.
You know, because at that time, I had nothing of my own, right? Nothing of my own at all.
Because you were living with your parents?
No, I was living with my then husband at the time.
After the divorce?
No, this is before.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I got to do something for myself. And so I started traveling, and then the divorce came.
Because it's like, be like, wait,
where you going, right?
Where you going? We got these kids. You had a 5-month-old, so by the time you stopped traveling, she was 10.
She was 10, but I remember coming home like after I was traveling for like maybe a year and something, and she was talking, and I thought, wow,
look what I
missed. I just boo-hooed so badly.
How did you reconcile that with yourself?
I never did.
Oh. Yeah. So you came back in 10 years. What happened at that 10-year mark that you said it was time to come home?
The only reason why I came home is because the job folded. Oh. The job folded.
So it forced you to pivot.
It forced me to pivot. And then I created my own business.
Yes.
So that's when that
was that the first iteration of what we're sitting in today?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first thing. In my 3-bedroom apartment in Hyde Park, I had a room in the back, and I was waxing brows and doing eyelashes and all this kinds of stuff. I did that for a while, and then what else did I do? I started working for Lemire behind the counter.
Okay.
I was there for a year, and then I worked there and Windy City Live at the same time, which was great. I worked in the daytime, like 6 a.m. to 1, and then I would work from 2 to close 8 o'clock, whatever that was. I did that. That was my dream job. I wanted the job so badly.
Yeah.
So badly.
Look,
I'm like,
you have this dream that's realized.
yes.
You have your own business. You're thriving.
Mm-hmm.
When did your mother get sick in the midst of this?
So, after I had been there for like, it was almost just 2 years, and I get the worst phone call ever. She says, hi, I need you to come over here right now. And I'm like, I'm at work.
Like at this moment? Like
she's like, I need you to come. She's never ever asked me to come
right then.
Because she knows I'm at work. I get to her house. My mother and father are both in their bedroom. The lights are off, and my mother is she was a clean fanatic. Everything is perfect in her house. The garbage hadn't been taken out. The curtains were not open. She said to me, can you make your father a sandwich? And I said, a sandwich? I said, he needs to get up and make his own sandwich, right?
She called you for work.
And I'm like,
for a sandwich.
She's like, look, don't start with me right now. And I saw the seriousness, but I felt something was wrong. And so then he was sitting in the chair and he goes, well, if she's not eating, I'm not eating. And I'm like, okay, let me make the sandwich. I make the sandwich, I tidy up, and I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, everything is fine. But I knew in the pit of my stomach it wasn't. So another week went past and they got lost, her and my father.
They got lost together in a car?
Yes, in the car. He was like a road map and they got lost. And I'm like, okay, I'm calling them. So at this time I'm nervous. So I'm at their house waiting. And she's like, oh, yeah, we got lost and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
in your own, because they're from Chicago.
Yes.
All their life.
Yes.
So it sounded like a red flag. Now the alarms are going off.
Yes. And I'm like, so then she tells me, I have a doctor's appointment and I want you to call this number for me. And my mother is very well educated and a very smart cookie. And I'm like, okay. I said, listen, you better be all right. And she smacked her lips, right? And I'm like, I'm serious. You better be all right. I'm like, I don't have time for this. You better be okay. And I called and they answered oncology. And I just looked at her. And I said, okay. So we go to the appointment. The appointment was right before her birthday, which was January 26th was her birthday. This had to be like the 21st, 23rd. Me, my sibling, we go. And my mother is an hour and a half late.
For her doctor's appointment?
Yes. And she's like, oh, I didn't feel well. And I'm like, okay. Boom. We go back to the appointment another week later. And I'm thinking, I never thought that this was going to be the end. The doctor came in and he's like, well, we looked at all her blood work. We looked at everything. She does not have pancreas cancer. So I'm like, okay.
Praise God.
I'm like, good, good, right? So we're sitting there like, okay.
Yeah.
He said, but, we can't really tell where the cancer was coming from. So we did 3 different kinds of tests. And I said, okay. I'm hopeful, like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and in the room was my mother's best friend, who is now deceased as well, my sibling and myself. And so I'm doing all the talking. I said, okay, so come on with it so I know what I need to do. He said, well, your mother has adrenal carcinoma. And I said, what? He said, yes. He's like, I told her that she needed to tell somebody. And he was talking like she wasn't even in the room.
So that means she already knew.
She did.
So that's why it was y'all that needed to be brought up to speed.
That's it. So she's sitting there. She's sitting on the table.
Now looking around.
I'm like, lady, are you serious?
Right.
So I said, so tell me. I said, okay, let's cut the bullshit. This is what I said to the doctor. I said, tell me what I'm up against. He said 2, maybe 3 months. The sibling runs out screaming and crying. Her best friend is sitting there in total shock.
Yeah.
And I'm just standing there. And I said, what did you say? He said 2, maybe 3 months tops.
What was your mother's reaction?
She didn't have one. She just sat there and she said, I made my peace with God already. That's what she said.
She had enough time to process her. She had her reaction.
She had her reaction
already. And her moment with her mortality. It was you guys that needed to catch
Yes.
up. Yeah.
And then the next word that came out of her mouth was, Miss Wesby would handle everything. And I was like...
What was your initial reaction? Were you still in shock?
What?
Yeah.
I have this thing that is definitely a trauma response. I know. It's where I kind of just get very quiet and shut down. Like I have to like process what is happening. And I can't even speak. And she was like, well, are you still going to take me to lunch? Yes. That was our thing.
She had a girl, mom, like girl.
Right. and so I take her to the lunch and she's eating and all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this is happening. I can't believe this.
Why Miss Wesby can handle it? Because you have a sibling. How did you become are you your mother's oldest child?
Yes.
Okay. Enough said then. Because I could relate to being my mother's oldest child. So it automatically passes over to you. Was your father in the room too?
No, my father was at home.
So he didn't know?
Oh, okay. No. So let me tell you the irony of this story is that my father had dementia at that time and I didn't even know.
So you had 2 things going on at once and you didn't even have a clue. Right now you're dealing with mom. Dad is at home. You haven't even gotten to that part yet.
No.
Who told you? Did your mother inform you about it?
No. I'm going to tell you how this came about. We in the car. We driving back home. I'm driving. I have a pit. You know how you want to cry and scream? I couldn't even talk. My throat was hurting so bad, right?
Yeah.
She tells me, she says, you have to tell your father. I said, what? She said, you have to tell him. We get back home. So at this time, again, like I said, I'm still not knowing what his mental capacity is, but I'm figuring that something is not right. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
So I sit down at the table with him. My mom, her best friend, the sibling was gone. She broke down so bad she could not.
She couldn't contain herself.
No. So we were at the table and my father said, what's wrong with my wife, Janae? While my mother is sitting here.
He felt it.
If she's not there. And I said, Mom has cancer and we're going to figure it out. And I have never seen somebody cry so hard. So I dealt with that. I did everything I could. Every person that I knew in Chicago that could help me, every doctor, everybody. I had even met people over the phone who told me different things. I said, can you please help me? And I said, my mother's dying in 2 to 3 months. I need a second opinion. How do I do that? She has this kind of, insurance and she can't. And then I told the lady over the phone, I said, Not, can you help me? Will you help me? I said, because there's never a no in anything. There's never a no.
Mm-hmm.
And she did. She told me how. She said, you have to get the doctor to write that he cannot help her.
Oh, that he, like, I've exhausted
Said all possibilities.
Yeah,
I can't do anything.
and she can't be helped here, so I'm ready to release her to someone else's care.
Exactly. So that's what we did. I was off work for that amount of time. So you figure this is January.
Mm-hmm.
By February 5th, I remember it clear as day, she stopped walking. She wasn't walking. She had lost like 25 pounds. It looked like overnight.
So she just started changing immediately.
Immediately.
As soon as y'all got up to speed, then it was just like, wow.
She was already like limping.
Mm-hmm.
And prior to that, she quit her job. And I didn't know why. She fell at work. And after that, she was just like, I'm not going back. And I'm like, what?
From falling? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's because the cancer had went to her bones.
Oh,
right?
She didn't have the stability.
Yes,
anymore.
and it spread it all over. Not only did the cancer was in her bones, I found out too that she was also a diabetic because of this cancer.
So you're learning things about your mother in real time.
In real time.
Were you angry with her? Because you were assigned caregiver. You're the oldest daughter, and most people that are oldest daughters kind of understand.
We get banged up so bad.
Yeah, but at the same time, did you feel away? Because it feels like you guys knew at the end of this journey something she had maybe had a little bit more time to fight.
With this cancer, it's a very rare cancer. Mm-hmm. I think she didn't tell us because there was no way she was going to beat it.
Okay.
Right? So in February, I told everybody that I knew who cared and loved her, I said, get here now because my mother is not going to make it to the spring. I remember telling my godparents that, my friends, I told everybody. And March 9th, she died.
Wow. And what was the time frame between you guys knowing?
January 21st till March 9th.
So
it was over with.
Exactly the 2-month time frame that he said.
Mm-hmm.
How did you and your father kind of begin healing after that? How did the family come together after your mom passed away? Because that's really quick.
It was very quick.
So what was your role back? Did you just quit your job and kind of take a moment to yourself? Did you have time to heal?
Mm-mm. It was just like, go from that point on. So then I'm with my aunts planning. My aunts, my sibling, we were planning the service. And then after that was over, I went back to work because I had been off since January. My sibling kept working and I was off. I had to, be there. I was the hospice person because she did not want to go to a facility or anything like that. Her brothers and sisters, they were amazing. She had around-the-clock help. I had around-the-clock help with her. But for whatever reason, she wanted me there every day. And I just said, okay.
Talk about that dynamic, the fact that your mom wanted you, because you told me earlier that you were raised by your grandma. Mm-hmm. And now suddenly towards the end of her life, she wants you around every day. Did she ever reveal why? Was that her way of kind of mending the relationship before she passed on? So,
our relationship was very tough. Mm-hmm. It was very tough for a couple different reasons. My grandmother was very, very overbearing about me, right? And my mother, I don't think she was ready to have children when she had me. I guess she did her best, right? She did her best. I had to forgive her for a lot of things, probably in her death, because I didn't understand why she did a lot of different stuff, But she did, at the end, she started to talk to me about a lot of things that happened in her life. I mean, she was just
open
up and start talking, and I'm like,
yeah,
you know,
because she didn't want to die with that
I think
heaviness.
so. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. And so, she finally, she just said, she was like, you know, Janae, I do love you, and I didn't know how to receive that. I didn't, because I had already had it in my mind that she didn't.
Right.
Because I felt
the disconnect.
The disconnect, the energy that she had with me and the different energy she had with the sibling. And so I had come to a point in my life where I was okay with it, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then that did something to me. I'm like, I got to go back to therapy now.
Because you opened up a wound that I had already, it had healed broken.
Yes.
It healed broken.
Yes.
And now you're trying to, it's like a broken bone. Now you got to break it again.
Yes.
Now you got to heal again. And now you don't have a lot of time.
Right. And I'm just like, so I said to her, I said, we don't have to talk about that. Because I just, I could not, I just couldn't. Knowing what I knew, feeling how I had felt, dealing with it the way I had dealt with it through therapy and on my own, it just didn't make sense to do that.
Do you think you made amends with your mom before she passed?
Yes.
Okay.
I could, once she started to talk to me, I started to understand a lot of the reasons why she was so stern, so hard with me. I'm like, how could someone she was beautiful, be so hard and stern? But after talking to her, she had been through lots of things in her life that she never shared.
Did you start seeing her more as a person and less as your mom?
I did. And that's how I was able to forgive her and really forgive her. Because before you're a mother, a sister, you are a flawed human being.
Yeah.
Who is going through life searching for answers to heal yourself. And so when I thought about that point, I thought, wow.
Yeah.
I you know.
Did you see yourself and your mom a little bit?
You know, a lot of people say I'm like my mother because I can be stern. I can be. But I am very loving.
Got it. Yeah.
She was not.
She
was very firm.
From the sense when you said you had to take that moment to find yourself and kind of restore you, and then you could show up for other people. Similar in that way, like you said, your mom had been through a lot. So you kind of identifying that she didn't have that space.
Yeah, no, she did not.
Yeah.
She didn't have that space. And like everything that she told me, you know, I had to keep my eyes together because I'm like, what? Like,
yeah.
She was telling me so many things that before I had asked her, and I'm like, well, what about, you know, I would ask her different things and nothing.
Yeah. So your mom passed away. And then what was life like for you after?
So my kids were at home running amok in the palace because I'm over here babysitting my other kids, right?
Right.
And I would come to my parents' house and check on my dad every day. And his behavior was very peculiar. And I'm like, okay, something is not right. I get to the house and he had a, reclining chair. And he was sitting in the dark in the chair backwards, looking at the wall.
So do you think that when your mom passed, did it start triggering?
Oh, absolutely. It accelerated.
It was like one went and then he had a moment that was his way of breaking maybe, or grieving.
Yeah. But during the time that all this getting lost and him having accidents at work and all that was dementia.
And you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Did your mother know?
Yes. Let me tell you why I know she knew. When I started to clean out the house, I went in the cabinet and it was medicine from months that he had not taken.
Wow. Okay.
And so then I started looking at it. I'm like,
What
okay,
is this for?
let me Google this. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about dementia.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm 38 years old. I'm in my career. Things are moving along.
Yeah, you're in your dream job.
I'm in my dream job.
Yeah.
You know,
You
things
found
are going
yourself.
great. Myself, I'm happy. I'm skinny. I'm everything, right?
Right.
And then this. And I'm like, okay.
And this was on you again.
On me.
100%.
This time, 100%.
Why didn't you get the same support that you got from your mom? Because you said when your mom was sick, the family came around.
But that was her family.
Okay.
My father is the only child. But I expected them to help me. I did. I thought
that
like
y'all love him too, so y'all would show up.
And I'm your niece.
Right. And I need you.
And they did not. They didn't. They did not. My one aunt was around for a long time, and then she just kind of
waned.
Yeah.
Was
and
it your mom's sister?
My father has no brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you said he was an only child.
He has cousins, and we need another podcast to even deal with that. But they didn't mean him any good.
What were those first years like? Because it almost as if you didn't have a chance to really catch your breath.
I didn't.
Did you end up having to walk away from your dream job in order to care for your father?
I did. So that's when I was across the street and I was learning everything, and I was still working at Windy City, blah, 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 blah.
And working for Le Maire at the counter.
Yes. Yeah. And I was learning so much. Like, they had all these different programs that you can sign up for. And you name it, I was doing it. I'm like, I'm going to learn everything that is to learn about this. Well, my father's cousin died. So here's another something. I told them, I said, my father has dementia. Please do not give him anything to drink. And I said, please bring him home. He cannot stay the night with you guys.
So
he cannot.
2 rules: no drinking, and please bring him home.
It was dismissed. So that night, my father didn't come home. At this time, he was 65 at the time. So I was like, you know what, Janae, just chill out. You know, they're grieving their family member. I asked this woman not to keep my father overnight. So I'm a cool out. So I'm getting dressed for work. I get a phone call. Janae, your dad is in the hospital. I said, what? For what? I said, wait a minute. I said, didn't I ask you not to keep him overnight?
What was the response?
She got smart with me and hung the phone up. She called back.
Because this is his cousin.
Yes. And she said something to me like, he was mine before he was yours. I said, this is my father. And I said, you know what? At this point, I'm the ruler here. The person you want to say that to is not here any longer. I asked you to bring him home. I asked you not to let him drink. So guess what? He got really drunk and fell over a stump and broke his arm in 4 places.
Oh my God.
Now, at the time, I'm not well versed in dementia, right? He had to get some anesthesia, and medication changes the mind of people with dementia. My father was growling like a dog after his surgery was over, and they had him chained to the bed because he was just all over the place.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So had they known, would they have given him the anesthesia?
They probably would have done something else.
Yeah.
But I didn't know to tell them that.
Right.
I didn't know to tell them that, right? So guess what? After my bereavement period, I was going to go back to work, but I couldn't because now I got to take care of him. So I had to quit my job with Le Maire. I had to quit.
Did you ever have a moment to grieve?
No, no,
Because
no.
immediately you went into caregiving.
Immediately again, right? It never
It's
stopped.
like
So
caregiving for mom. Mom passes away, and immediately now I had to caregive for my father.
and before my mother passed away, I was helping her with my dad because he had a surgery prior to this. So then I'm dealing with that. So I'm at home. I'm just off the radar for 3 years, trying to figure out
What to do next?
what to do with him. Okay, he tried to commit suicide twice. I have to deal with that. So I
How
dealt
does
with a
that
lot.
work with someone with dementia in terms of trying to commit? Because this is the assumption is that you're there, but you're not there.
No, all dementia is not the same.
What are some key differentiators? Because I know some people consider dementia just for forgetfulness, but it seems to be way
It's
deeper
a
than that.
whole, okay, so how can I say this? So dementia is really not a disease. Okay, it is a symptom of forgetfulness. Now, they have different kinds of, frontal lobe, this. There are 80 different kinds of dementia.
Wow.
Okay? A lot of times medication can also give you dementia. Alcoholism can give you dementia. Stress and trauma can give you dementia.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really sure.
What triggered your father?
I really do not know, and I do not have a type for you. I don't. Nobody has a type because he has been so aware. He's been like this since 2012, 2013. Yes, has his disease progressed? Absolutely, but he is still high functioning.
Right, because he has some really strong, like lucid moments.
Yes, he does.
And it's extreme, so you never really know how to care for him. So you were out of the workforce for 3 years. During that 3 years, what did you learn in order that you needed to do in order to support him and yourself?
The first 3 years, I'm gonna tell you, I was just trying to get my daughter, my one daughter out of high school. I think that we were all depressed. The house at the time, we were living in my parents' house. We moved in because I couldn't leave my father by himself.
Right.
Everything was the same, how she left it, and it killed us.
It probably made it worse.
It
the healing
did.
and grieving process.
Because I just felt like she was going to come out of her room, and it was hard for me. But I didn't have time to think about how.
Take her stuff down. Yeah.
Not even that, but I didn't have time to think about how I felt. I was so busy
with your father.
With my father and my kids at the time. After that, I decided to go back to work. And
what was going back to work for you? Because you didn't go back to Windy City Live.
No.
You didn't go back to Lemaire.
So I did, but in a different capacity.
Okay.
I called and I was like, I would love to be an influencer, whatever. And it was like, well, Janae, you don't have influencers. I mean, you don't have any followers. You don't have this, you don't have that. And I was like, okay. So I was like, well, let's talk about something else I can do, right? So that was a phone call. And then I got a call a week later. She's like, Janae, would you like to travel with us and be a stand-in esthetician? And this is how I got my real break. And I said, sure. They FedExed a book so thick of movements, and I thought, oh my God.
Techniques you had to learn.
I had to learn because I was doing facials on all the, big influencers. And everything had to be seamless. It had to be the same.
Wow.
And that is how I really got my true start at luxury aesthetics. When I tell you I learned so much just about luxury, about speaking, about
It helps you be more polished.
yes, it
And really,
elevated me in
yeah.
such a way. It really polished every skill that I had, like every single skill, down to even giving classes and speaking to people and not being afraid to talk to strangers.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I'm innately a shy person, but because
Janae don't nothing about you.
no,
Seem shy.
no, well, let me tell you,
Nothing about you. She seems shy.
people don't. When I tell people that, they're like, really? But because I love what I do so much, it has opened me up like a blossoming flower. This is what I love to do so much. Um, I never understood when people say that, their craft is what kept them alive. I wholeheartedly understand that now. If it wasn't for this, I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
what was your support system? Because when I speak with you, it doesn't seem like you
No,
had one.
I didn't. I did not.
How were you able to go back to work?
I left him at home by himself.
When did you? Because he was okay for a little bit with being by himself.
Yes.
Okay, and so you were able to go back to work and at least get a little bit of joy. It gave you some relief.
It gave me some relief, but I started noticing things.
Okay, because he was progressing.
He was progressing because he was at home by himself. He was crying every day. He was not taking a bath, and he was not eating.
When did you notice he was doing that? Because it seems like something that happened over time. Like
it did. It happened over time.
It didn't happen. That didn't happen right away.
No, not right away.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple months into I'm like, I gotta live my life. I gotta do this. I gotta get back to my life. I gotta get back to work. I gotta, that was my focus.
Because you were trying to get back to whatever was normal for you. Yeah.
He declined in a way that I didn't even know what to do. I try to give my father his dignity because that I do talk about some dementia-related stories with him.
Yeah. But we can just say he declined in a way.
He declined.
That you realized that maybe you needed more help than you thought you did. I
needed more help than I thought I did.
Yeah.
And it was really bad.
Okay.
It was bad. He was aggressive. So the medicine that he hadn't taken, I started giving it to him with the help of the doctor.
Oh, okay.
So I called the neurologist and I'm like, hey, my father is doing some things that I don't understand. One of the things that I will talk about is pseudo-bulbar effect. And people have nicknamed it the Joker's disease. It's laughing and crying literally until it hurts, like you cannot stop. And he would do that to the point that he couldn't walk.
Really? Laughing and crying until he literally made himself sick.
Sick.
So that means you had to quit work?
Again.
And then you were back to being a caregiver at home. When did you find a resource for him? How long were you out of work this time?
So at this time, I think I had just COVID happened. I just got this studio.
Okay.
And I was still trying to have my life. And it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And then I started trying to get caregivers, and they were afraid of him.
Yeah.
And I had a caregiver that robbed me blind. And then I had one caregiver who was excellent, and she quit because my father was just too much.
Yeah. Because your father is a very big man.
Yes.
We're talking about football player build.
Yes.
And when he's having an episode,
it's
that
not
can
pretty.
Be really hard to restrain.
Very intimidating. Yes.
Yeah.
And what I know now is that the medications that they have out here that they prescribe for people are really not intended dementia metabolically, because they give people medication like that should be for someone who is, what's the disease? It's classified as a mental illness. They classify dementia as health related. I can't think of the disease right now. Bipolar.
Okay.
Bipolar disease. They give the same kind of medication, which in turn made my father sick. It made his blood pressure spike. It made him gain lots of weight. And he was constantly in the hospital with UTIs for years.
Wow.
And UTIs in demented, especially men, is very serious. And so after years of that, I want to say in 2024, I just decided, you know what? No one is really helping me. I'm asking them, I'm like, why is his blood pressure going up? Why is he gaining weight? Why? And no one could give me a straight answer. So I started reading all these different excerpts and all this stuff. And back when my father was first diagnosed, they just wanted me to put him in a facility.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, no, I need you to help me. All these commercials and stuff now, it's just amazing how all this is available now.
Research has changed, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But I took him off all the medication except for probably 2 things. And he has not been sick since.
That is so crazy how what they were giving him was essentially making him sick. And that's why you couldn't have help. How did you know what to weed out? Because I know you say you're a reader. I mean, that's what you said about you at the beginning of your story.
Yes.
And that same skill set.
Yes, help me.
Researching for yourself. Now you're doing the same for your father. How did you pinpoint, like, not this, not this, not this? We're going to stick to these 2.
So what I figured out is I believe that my father had a stroke during his surgery. So I went back to that. And
you were talking about from his arm.
No. He had another surgery.
Okay.
And for his back before my mother died. And after that is when the doctor told her that he would be forgetful. And I'm like, but why? She never explained anything to me. Right? So I had to dig through all of this paperwork and all of this stuff to figure out, okay, let me connect the dots with this, and third.
Yeah.
So we end up having syncope, right? So syncope is like fainting spells. It's when the oxygen doesn't go to the brain, right?
Okay.
So he was having these fainting spells. I mean, I've turned into a whole doctor now. Like
no, because you're educating the people.
So I had to go back to that. I'm like, okay, that in itself is probably the reason why he has dementia.
Because there was a lack of oxygen to the brain.
Right. Okay, so let's look at these pills that he's getting. So I looked up all the medication. This is for this kind of mental illness. This is for this is for that. And I'm like, and then it clearly says, do not give to demented patients.
Wow.
It clearly says this. It clearly says this.
It sounds like some malpractice, but I guess in the absence of not knowing what to do, they felt like giving him something was better than nothing.
But he's not the only demented patient that are on these drugs.
That's true.
He's not.
Yeah.
Okay. When I took him off of all that stuff, after I got through reading, I mean, it took a lot of reading.
Because you said he had a whole,
my God,
of meds. Yeah.
It was so much stuff. And so now, with more research, people are telling you more things about, holistic things that you can do. So I said, you know what? They're not helping me. It's on me anyway. So whatever happens,
just happens.
It just happens. Let me deal with it.
Yeah.
Fine. Does he have still dementia? Yes, he does.
But he's more manageable.
He has more clarity.
Clarity, that's the word.
He's more clear.
Because you had some home care for him again, and then you found places that would watch him while you were at work. But that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't figured this out.
Because he was just,
Yeah. What
He,
type of help do you have now? Let's talk about what happened, because that was 2 years ago.
mm-hmm,
We're in a new space
uh-huh.
and in your life now. How is your dad now?
He's more mild.
Okay.
He's further in his disease. He is becoming less manageable for other people. He does not like being told what to do by anybody else. His default sentence is, I'm a grown ass man. He acts up in the adult daycare almost daily. He's getting to the point now where he will get angry and walk out. He has got angry at me and walked out of our house because I'm asking him to do something. It is all things consuming in my life.
How are you maintaining? Because you still have this business. We're here. You have a beautiful spa space that you decorated, you modernized. You're still very much a working esthetician.
Yes.
And the thing about Janae is this has been a long, almost 20-year, 15-year plus journey.
Yes.
And people like me, her customers show up for her service. We can never tell. And what she has never broke down and cried in front of me. I know you're super professional. I'm certain you never cried in front of your other customers.
I mean, I have once.
Really?
Yeah. I have a client that it seemed like every single time that she came, with the exception of recently, somebody was calling me to come pick them up. I'm talking about every time this woman came, the phone would just, and thank God it was her. And let me tell you why. Because she's dealing with the same thing I am with her mom.
She had grace for you.
She had grace for me. Somebody else probably would not have.
No.
The things that I go through on a daily basis, you would not believe. And I know some people don't believe it because they're looking at this.
You show up so gracefully, flawlessly. And that's why I'm always intentional about asking. I'm like, well, how are you? Girl, I'm fine. No. How? Because I know what's happening.
And you've been to my home.
And I've been to your home because sometimes, Dad, you get that call and you're like, hey, can you come to my house?
Yep.
And I don't mind coming to your house because the house is, you see how this is decked out? The house is decked out too. But what would you like to happen next for you? Because Dad has his needs and so do you. And I don't know who's listening.
Yeah.
What would you like to happen next?
You know, I am not looking at this point for any family member to step up or anything like that because they haven't, right? And they know I need help. And they watch me on Instagram like everyone else with these stories that I write. And I write because nobody told me anything. I had to figure it out. And this is a hard space and a place to be in. I feel guilty.
About what?
Because I would love to put my father in a place. I want to so badly. I just told you that I came to my parents' house at 38 and I never left. I've not risen to my full potential in my life, right? I will be 50 this summer. And I have been caregiving full time more than running my business, right? It is hard on so many different levels, financially, for sure, mentally, okay? It's a balancing act that I don't wish on anybody. It's an arduous feat, and it's one that you're not gonna win. It is said that it takes 10 people to manage someone with an illness like this. And I have been doing it by myself. Over the last 2 years, my uncle has stepped in And he said, I'm going to be a bad caregiver, but I'll be your support.
Mm-hmm.
He is the worst caregiver ever.
We sure is.
But he is the best uncle ever for
Yeah.
even trying, for even trying.
At least he showed up.
He showed up. He showed up, and he
Yeah.
has given me parts of my life that I didn't know that I would ever get back.
Yeah.
So now, I don't blame anybody for wanting to put their parents somewhere, because you cannot work
Mm-hmm.
and do this at the same time.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've been closed for 5 months here, 3 months here, 2 months here.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, why are you closed? I'm like, because it's just me. And really, with having someone like this, you really shouldn't work. You shouldn't, because it's too much.
Yeah.
But you know why I work? Sometimes keeping this place costs me more having it than not,
Mm-hmm.
because it helps me with my sanity.
Yeah.
And I need this. I need to come out of my house. I need to fulfill some kind of normalcy for myself, right? And so that's why I do it. And that's why I love my business, my clients, and that's why I continue to grow, and I go different places to learn different things, because this is what is keeping me sane.
Yeah.
It is.
How do you pour from this place? Because I feel like, how are you pouring from an empty cup?
You know what? This place is magical for me. This is something that I created.
Is it pouring back into you?
It's pouring back into me.
Yeah.
This fills my cup to guide other people to the skin of their dreams, because I was once somebody who needed help with my skin. And I promised God that if you continue to let me live, I would do my best. So here I am, and I don't want to put this off on people. And I have a good friends group, but a lot of times I mask what I'm truly feeling, because I know that they don't understand.
Yeah.
You will never.
You gotta be in
understand
it,
until you get in it, and they are a lovely, supportive group. My clients, especially you and other clients, have come to my home to get services when I can't get out, or whatever the case may be. And I have been supported, just and I'm thankful for that. And I just roll with how it comes.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in my life, I have leaned into what's in front of me. Right?
In other words, like taking one day at a time?
Yes, I don't try to fight it anymore as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to devise a way to have my new life.
Yeah.
Because my old life, that's gone.
It was definitely, I felt like I was hearing a struggle between, I gotta get back,
Yes.
And then fighting what was really happening. Now it seems like, okay, this is happening, this is where I am right now.
This is where I am.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be here? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I've tried putting him in places a bunch of times, as you know.
Yes, I know.
And so I'm going to try again soon, because I need myself.
Yeah. And you need yourself for yourself.
Yes.
You need yourself for yourself, not for anybody else.
For
not
myself.
This you need you for yourself.
I need me for me.
Especially this, you still haven't grieved. You haven't even mentioned, like, we can't even talk about your healing journey because you haven't had like a moment of solidarity or peace to just
listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I feel like I'm gonna cry, I have a friend that I talk to a lot, and I'm like, girl, I was about to cry, and then something happened. I just didn't have time.
You're like, I got a schedule.
I got a schedule to cry.
I gotta cry.
Because not only that, I think that I'm afraid to really break down. I don't know what that would look like.
Are you afraid you won't get back up?
I don't know. I have so many things that I could cry about, right?
Right.
But I don't. I just try to stay positive, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Do you have a word of encouragement for some people that are currently caregiving? I shared with you that my grandparents I didn't know it was dementia, but like you said, it shows up in different ways. It's a new normal for me, seeing them as former versions of themselves, especially when you're used to seeing them.
Like, you think your parents and grandparents are invincible.
And now it's almost like take the blinders off and see for the first time what's really happening. You're still in your journey, but what is it that you can give now to people that are also in still trying to balance them and caregive too, or just caregivers get really, really beat down? So do you have something that you can give to them just to, like you said, take it one day at a time?
Take it one day at a time. Find a moment of escape. Create a space that you love. For me, I'm always at home, right? Because I have my dad. And so decorating has been my joy. And you know, Jacinta is my friend. And so when I'm sad, she'll come over and she'll just start rearranging stuff in the house.
Yeah, because Jacinta is an interior decorator. Yeah.
And she'll just come and start, we just have a decorating session.
Yeah.
Because this is where I am all the time. So create a beautiful space. Like they say, the dopamine effects, have fresh flowers. When things are going awry, take a walk outside. For me, I'll just get in my car, I'll go drive, I'll sit and listen to some music in my car and give myself a moment of release. And whatever it looks like, whether it's crying, screaming, whatever it is, allow yourself that moment. And you are not a bad person for longing for your life, for wanting your life. You are not wrong. You are not wrong to be angry, and you are not wrong for not letting people watch you struggle. That's the one thing that I'm not going to do. You cannot be in my life and just watch me struggle.
Yeah.
No.
Because what you looking at?
What are you looking at?
Yeah.
What are you looking at? And so in countless families, because I started kind of journaling about this on Instagram, so many people email me or DM me and ask me, how have you done this for so long?
Yes.
God. Because it's not me. It is not me. For the things that I have been through on this journey, people reveal their real hearts when it comes to stuff like this. When the diagnosis drops, everybody scatters and it only be a few.
Yeah.
And people that have their family to help them are so, so lucky. Because this is not, there's nothing about this that is easy. And every day is different. Sometimes every second. And you have to cope the way that you cope. I hate to say it so bluntly, yes, get counseling and all that. But you have to figure out in the moment what's going to make me happy. How can I reset myself?
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Janae. Aww. I feel like this story is unfolding. I always pray, Lord, Janae needs some help.
Yes,
please send Janae
Lord.
some help. But what I can do is introduce you to the world. I'm hoping that some resources find you. But for those that are looking for skincare needs, please tell them how to reach you.
You can reach me at changingfacesatelier.com. I am in the Gold Coast downtown at Phoenix Salon Suites, 100 East Walton, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. And for the Crossroads Callings guests, I'm going to make a special coupon for you. It will be activated tomorrow morning. Please schedule the first time client's facial and you will get 15% off.
Thank you so much, Janae. When I think of you now, you said it takes 10 people to support someone with dementia. You have the strength of 100 men. You have the strength of 100 men. But I pray that you have your season of rest.
Yes.
Where you can just shed and heal, because I believe that like your gift has been called to the masses, and I'm praying that God create that space for you.
Yes.
Janae make me so, oh my gosh, I feel so emotional when I think of you because I love you so much, and I feel so honored that you feel safe to share with the Crossroads and Callings community. As she stated, she is located in the Gold Coast. Please pay Janae a visit. And Crossroads and Callings is located on YouTube and all podcasting platforms. Please subscribe. Please give Janae some love and let her know what you think of her story, how she's inspired you. I hope it spoke to you the way she speaks to me. I'm just honored to have her in my life. And until next time, please use your crossroads to find your calling.